I went from posting content on my friend's couch, broke and depressed, having quit my corporate job to become a content creator, to making multiple six figures per year, mostly passively while traveling the world. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly step by step how you can go from 0 to 10K per month as a content creator, even if you're starting from scratch, even without followers, and even without any social media experience. And the best part is that all of this can be done from your iPhone, laptop, on Instagram and TikTok, and with just some Wi-Fi connection. So if you feel like you're not ready yet, don't worry, you are more than ready. I'm going to walk you through this roadmap in 3 phases, so stick with me until the end because it'll all come together and all stack up. I'll be sharing with you the exact roadmaps and systems that help me go from beginner to solo traveling over 15 countries, flying my mom out to dream birthday vacations, and honestly just building a life that feels fully mine. And that's my biggest wish for you. But before diving into all of that, I want to talk a little bit about mindset and emotions because it's so important as a content creator. Specifically, I want to touch on fear. Being a content creator and starting to create content can feel so scary sometimes, and you're probably thinking things like, what if I fail? What if I look cringe? I don't have enough followers. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to market myself. And I just want you to know that every single creator has started out in the same shoes that you have. Scared, confused, full of doubt, but with some tinge of excitement and passion and the idea of what if? What if it all works out? And now I'm here on the other side telling you that you're going to make it. And the beautiful thing about being a creator is that you become more resilient, smarter, and stronger as a human as a result. So with that, let's dive in. So to make this roadmap easy to follow, I've broken down this roadmap into 3 distinct phases: no followers, some followers, and growing followers. And then I'll talk about the different ways to make money as a content creator within each phase. Yes, how to make money even without followers, okay? With that, let's go into phase 1. Phase 1 is UGC deals, which is the fastest way to earn without an audience. If you want to make your first 5K a month without followers and without needing to post, UGC is your answer, okay? UGC stands for user-generated content. It's a term that you've probably heard thrown around on the social media space, and it's huge. You're creating content directly for brands to use, and that's how I first started making money as a content creator. By the way, I have a whole YouTube video on exactly how to start as a UGC creator. I'll link it somewhere on the screen. With just 94 TikTok followers, I was able to make over 7K in my very first month as a UGC creator. So if that's possible for me, that is possible for you. And basically all you need is an iPhone, a tripod, and a Canva portfolio. So to make this really come to life for you, I'm going to paint out what UGC deals could look like for you. Here are standard rates for UGC videos: $150 to $300 for one UGC video, $500 to $800 for 3 video packages of UGC videos, $800 to $1,200 for 5 video packages. And then for monthly retainers, which is when a brand hires you to create content for them on a recurring basis, that could be around $1,500 to $3,000 per month for monthly retainers. And so what does income look like for you if you did UGC in a given month? If every single week you did 3 deals at $500 each, that would be $1,500 a week. By the way, every single deal takes around 3 to 4 hours to do from start to finish, meaning scripting, filming, editing, delivering the content to the brand. Now that's going to total you at about 10 to 12 hours per week for those 3 deals. Now let's expand that into 4 weeks or 1 month. That's 40 to 48 hours per month for $6,000 in income. Now let's say you added a UGC monthly retainer between $1,000 and $3,000 per month. Your $6,000 income per month has now become $7,000 to $9,000 per month. And I want to really break this whole income stream idea down because I really want you to understand how doable and how achievable this all is. This isn't just theory. I've done this myself and my students have done this as well. And now if you're wondering, what does a UGC process look like if you're a complete beginner? Don't worry, I got you. So at a high level, there are 3 main steps. Number 1 is building your UGC portfolio. Number 2 is getting UGC brand deals through 3 methods: inbound, outbound, and platforms. And then the third step is delivering content to the brand and getting paid. Okay, so now let's move on to phase 2. And at this point, you've likely had a few UGC deals under your belt. You've worked with a couple of brands. You've practiced creating content. You've likely made some income as a content creator, even without followers. And so now in phase 2, you want to grow your personal brand so that you can unlock 2 main opportunities. The first one is influencer and creator collabs, and the second one is digital products and services. And so in this phase 2, I'm going to focus on the first one, which is creator and influencer brand collaborations. i.e., influencer deals. Let's say UGC helped you make your first 5K per month. Influencer and creator collabs is going to bring you from 5K to 10K per month. And here's a rule of thumb for compensation when it comes to brand collabs as an influencer or creator. You'll typically be paid around 1 to 5% of your follower count. Now, here's a chart that shows the general ranges of influencer collab compensation. If you have 1 to 10K followers, you're considered a micro influencer and you'll be paid between $100 to $500 per post. Again, this heavily depends on engagement, okay? If your engagement is amazing, then you'll likely be paid way more if you have 10K followers, right? You won't be paid 500, you might be paid over 1,000, maybe 2,000. If you have between 10K to 50K followers, you're considered a mid-tier influencer and you'll be paid between $500 to $3,000 per post. Again, highly depends on a few other factors like engagement. I'll touch on other factors later in this section. Now, let's say you have between 50K and 500K followers. You are a macro influencer. You're going to be paid between 3K to 25K per post. Again, this upper range can really vary. And then lastly, if you have over 500K followers, you're looking at over $25,000 per post. And by post, I mean one reel on Instagram or one TikTok. This is not including IG stories or other ways that you're repurposing that content for the brand. So as you can see on this chart, if you have 10K followers, you're easily making over $1,000 for one single reel or one single TikTok. And also a little story time. If you're like, Linda, 10K followers sounds like so much. Don't worry, I completely understand. Growing on Instagram and TikTok can feel hard. I mean, it's like the $1,000,000 question, right? It's how to grow on social media. And here's a little story to motivate you if you're stuck in the 200 view jail, okay? So when I first started my Instagram, I was like having some decent traction on TikTok, but then I was like, okay, let me diversify to Instagram as well. I want to, put more out there. I posted over 200 times and I barely even had 1,000 followers. Like, let's just think about it. Most creators post 5 times and give up. I posted 200 times and couldn't even hit 1K. And then suddenly I posted something that went viral, really tickled the algorithm in the right way. And then within like 2 weeks, I got almost 10K followers. And then since then, after figuring out what works for me as a creator, I've grown to over 100K followers on Instagram in under 1.5 years. So if you're feeling demotivated, there's my story on the hard beginnings. And by the way, these days it's so much easier to grow on Instagram and TikTok because more people teach it. Okay, so as I said earlier, those are just ranges for influencer, brand deal, collaboration, compensation. And here's some other factors that actually affect how much you'll be paid as a content creator. 3 things: engagement rate, your niche, and your past performance on your collab. So first one, engagement rate. Pretty simple, right? If your content gets a higher percentage of comments, saves, shares, then yes, brands will want to pay you more for that post in comparison to another creator with the same amount of followers, right? Higher engagement rate equals more compensation for you as a creator. Niche. Okay, so different niches will have different CPMs, and CPMs meaning cost per impression. This is basically the metric that brands use to measure how much they want to pay you as a creator based on the number of views you have. In some niches, you'll be paid more for the same 10,000 views as another creator with 10,000 views in a different niche. Niches that tend to pay more are luxury fashion, tech, and finance. Niches that tend to pay a little bit less are the cosmetics brands. And this makes sense, right? Because there's so many like skincare beauty influencers that brands will pay slightly less because they have so many other creators to go to. As you're picking your niche as a creator, I wouldn't recommend you going for the niche that pays the most because ultimately it comes down to what you're passionate about, what you're excited about, and what kind of like impact you want to leave on the internet world. And a little bit of a story time. I started out as a UGC creator for food brands, for tech brands, for wellness brands, and for skincare and makeup brands. And then as I grew my Instagram, I leaned into the content creator, tech, and business space. And so my brand deals tended to compensate me more for my follower count because they had more money to spend as finance and tech companies. Just a little insight there. You can always evolve depending on what phase you're at as a creator. Now, the third factor that affects your income as an influencer or creator is past performance. So if you've worked with a brand once or twice and they're like, oh my goodness, you have great engagement, for the next deal, they're obviously going to want to offer to pay you more because you've proven to be profitable to their marketing budget. If you're a beginner creator, I wouldn't focus so much on past performance. I would just focus on putting out good content consistently and practicing working with brands. And here's the thing about business and making money as a content creator. Okay, I'm not going to leave you hanging with like the one way to monetize as a content creator or influencer. There are actually ways to upsell brands into paying you more for the similar amount of work for a certain product. And here's what I mean. So let's say a brand is paying you $2,000 for one Instagram reel. What you can do is upsell in a few different ways. I'll go over 3 ways to upsell a brand when it comes to creator collabs. The first one is offering to simply repost that same piece of content on a different platform. So reposting that Instagram reel onto TikTok. And that way you can ask the brand to potentially pay you more if they're interested to have that repost, right? So instead of paying you $2K for an Instagram reel, it's $3K for an Instagram reel reposted onto TikTok as well. Second way to upsell is a bit more Instagram specific, but it's turning that reel into a carousel. And this is what I mean, okay? Oftentimes, if you're doing a reel, you're walking through things step by step, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3. You can take that exact same concept and content and turn it into a carousel. This way, you're using the concept and turning it into multiple pieces of content, and you can come to the brand and say, hey, by the way, since I'm making this reel for you, would you want this in a carousel form as well? That's a second way to upsell brands. Third way, and this is, I think, the most important, is offering Instagram stories. Instagram stories are where your most engaged audience lives as a content creator, right? Posting on Instagram stories is a really valuable asset to brands because they reached out to you to want to collab with you, and they also want to reach and connect with your warmest audience, and that lives on Instagram stories. So what you can do is approach your brand and say, hey, since we're doing one reel as a collab together, do you want me to also create 2 to 3 story posts? I'll offer them at like $200 each or $500 each. However, this all depends on how many views you get on your stories, okay? And so these are the 3 main ways to upsell brands when it comes to influencer and creator collabs. It's repurposing the content, i.e. reel to carousel, cross-posting between your different platforms, or offering your content on Instagram stories. And also, if you're doing content creator and influencer collabs along with UGC, right, you have your first 5K, now you have your 5 to 10K per month. Okay, now let's touch on phase 3, which is the true opportunity of this day and age, and that is building digital products. Now, this is a real opportunity if you're a creator or aspiring creator. Digital products and services is the best way to monetize your skills, knowledge, experiences, and passions, and to create a business as a creator that's uniquely yours and has unlimited income potential. If you're posting and growing on social media, you have to think about creating and selling your own digital products and services. And so digital products are basically ebooks, guides, mini trainings, courses that help someone solve a problem, typically a problem that you've been through, something that you have a lot of insight and excitement and passion for. Digital services would be like online coaching, one-to-one coaching, or group coaching programs. Here are examples of digital products across different niches, okay? In finance, it could be how to invest for beginners or how to invest as a college student. Within wellness, it could be how to repair your gut health or how to balance your hormones. Within skincare, it could be how to heal your hormonal acne. Truly, the possibilities for digital products and services is endless. And this is how you most easily scale past 10K per month and onto 20, 30, 40K months as a content creator. And let me break down exactly how digital products and services could look for you. So let's assume you're a manifestation content creator focused on helping people attract love, health, and wealth into their lives, okay? And let's also assume that you're a content creator with 10K followers on Instagram and 10K followers on TikTok. And let me pause right here, okay? This 10K follower here, 10K follower there. This is an ideal scenario. And I get that it takes time to grow followers and grow an audience and really prove your value as a content creator. That's the hard part, but also the fun part. But here's another anecdote to hopefully motivate, encourage, and inspire you, okay? When I first launched my digital product, I had not even 7,000 followers on TikTok and no Instagram presence because I thought Instagram would be hard to grow at that time, which you saw earlier in the video, yes, it was a bit hard for me. But I launched my first online course with under 7K followers on TikTok because I was so excited, so passionate, and so ready to put my value out into the world. And I ended up making over $12,000 in that very first month purely from online courses themselves. And I'm sharing this with you because I want you to personally see what's possible for you. Like if you've got a skill, an experience, a problem you've solved, someone out there needs that same solution that you've learned, okay? So please give them that shortcut through a course or an ebook or something like that. So here's what digital product revenue might look like if that's you. Let's say you're offering a $47 low ticket product, meaning an ebook, a podcast series, a 1-hour training, something that's a bit more basic, more broad, and isn't too advanced, okay? And then also, let's say you're offering a $197 mini course, something that's like a 2 to 3 hour mini course walking someone through the fundamentals of that niche. And then let's also say you have a $497 full course. This is like a 4 to 6 hour course that goes a bit more in depth than the actual mini course. And then let's also say you have a $997 3-month group coaching program for people who want to go deeper. And so let's say that every single month, 30 people buy your low ticket product, 15 people buy your mini course, 10 people buy your full course, 2 people join your coaching. That's already over $11,000 per month from products that you built once and that you're going to sell for years. Okay, your ebook, your guide, your mini course, your full course. The only exception being coaching because that's likely going to be some kind of like group call situation. But this is mostly passive income that you're building for yourself. And all of these products, all of these digital products are going to be marketed through your organic content that you're already posting as a content creator, okay, on Instagram and on TikTok. And so now imagine, right, you're making 5K from UGC deals, another 5K from influencer collabs, and then over $11,000 a month from digital products. You're at over 20K a month. And then imagine as you grow your followers and as you post more content and as you give more value, more people buy your digital products, you grow your followers, and more brands reach out to you for higher paying influencer collabs. You can see exactly how your income as a content creator is growing. And at this point, you've built a freedom driven creator business that lets you create content about things you love and let you uniquely serve someone through your digital products and services through a problem that you've worked through. Now that is literally magic. And now let me quickly walk you through what the digital product or service creation process looks like in 4 high level steps. Number 1 is validating your idea. Okay, you can do this in a few different ways. Polling your audience, seeing what frequently asked questions come through your comments or DMs, and then also researching what's already selling in your niche. Step 2, start small. So what you want to do is maybe launch with a low ticket guide or podcast recording or mini trading and see what kind of feedback you're getting from your audience. And then 3, you want to build bigger. So once you've validated that first small idea, you can build that bigger course, okay? Like the $300 to $1,000 course. This is going to be your mid to high ticket product. And what you can do is launch it to your audience now that you've validated in step 2 what will be useful to your audience. Step 4, which is the fun part, the business part, the part where you really step into that like entrepreneurial spirit, is creating autopilot sales systems so that you can sell your digital products on autopilot. So what that looks like is organic content marketing, email marketing, and then upsell sequences for different products. So with these 3 steps, this is exactly how I personally scaled from 0 to multiple 6 figures a year as a content creator after quitting my corporate job and being broke and depressed. So it helped me, and I hope it helps you. So in summary, okay, phase 1, you're gonna start doing UGC deals, okay? No followers required, no social media posting required. You're just creating content for brands, and that'll take you from 0 to 5K per month, or 0 to 3K, 0 to 7K, whatever floats your boat. Phase 2 was you're gonna build your personal brand, you're gonna post consistently, you're gonna create value for your audience, and you're gonna grow your follower count. This will help you unlock influencer deals and digital products and services as a revenue stream in the future. Phase 3 is going to be creating and selling your digital products or services, okay? You are truly at this point a creatorpreneur. This is how you're going to grow your income to 20, 30, 40K months. And by the way, some creators even make 6 figures per month with digital products and services. So a little bit of motivation for you. I'm personally very, very biased to this 3rd phase because it's what really unlocked like the highest level version of myself, the smartest, most resilient, most like compassionate version of myself. Because the journey of being a content creator isn't about the followers and the views, it's about who you become. All right, and that is it. Here's your 3-phase roadmap to going from 0 to wherever you want to go. Okay. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll try my best to answer all of them. If you want to go deeper and build a freedom driven life as a content creator, I have links to more resources in the description box below. With that, I'm rooting for you so hard. You got this.